It's a fair exchange, fair exchange, fair exchange with you. Yeah, know me as the guy with the game plan. Shoot with the
Welcome to Crypto Download. In today's video, we're going to cover and share our thoughts on the top news items in crypto this week. From France saying no to crypto taxes, Santander issuing a bond on Ethereum, Binance US and Futures exchange launching, Telegram taunt code being released and the blockchain explorer, and Amazon getting into the blockchain business. Let's get into it. Hey guys, how are you? Hello, Paresh, Sam, Sarab.
Hey.
You guys doing all right?
Yeah, all right.
All right, nice. Okay, so first up, French Economy Minister Bruno Le Maire has stated that crypto-to-crypto trades will be tax exempt. According to a report by Bloomberg, instead, France will only tax cryptocurrency gains when they're converted to traditional currencies. Sarab, you're the finance guy. What's your take on this?
So, I mean, it's definitely welcoming for all the traders. If you want to look at it from a trader's perspective, let's say that trader does 1,000 odd trades in crypto to crypto on a yearly basis, and he only converts back, assume that he only converts back to fiat only once a year. So instead of posting gains for whatever he made profits on those 1,000 trades, instead of that, he only has to file for only one return. So it definitely makes traders' life easier. And even from the finance authorities' perspective, there, once you have KYC and AML with the exchanges where there are on-ramps and off-ramps, their life also becomes easier. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely welcoming.
I find there's so much innovation happening in crypto taxes in Europe, right? France saying no to crypto taxes, right? Then Portugal, I think a few weeks ago, saying no to all taxes for crypto, right? I just wish the American government and the IRS could catch up to this, right? But that seems more like a dream, right? Because the American government likes to put its hands in everyone's pocket all over the world.
Oh yeah. I wish that I was living in France in 2017 when I was doing all that trading.
Oh man, me too, man. Me too. I mean, because when Trump's new tax law came into power, right, he basically said that all Americans would be taxed crypto to crypto. Because before that, we thought the same thing, right? We thought that we're only getting be taxed when we're converting to fiat, right? And that was really the death blow. Because I know I was doing my taxes with my accountant, and she told me that. I was like, oh man, I have so much taxes to pay now. It was a bad day for me. Let's just say that. Okay, then up next, Spanish banking giant Santander has issued and settled a $20 million bond on the Ethereum blockchain. The bank itself is the issuer. It announced Thursday, adding that the bond carries a quarterly coupon of 1.98%. The one-year bond will exist on the blockchain until maturity. So, Sarab, how big is this? Is this big news?
So let's look at it. I mean, we all keep thinking about when crypto is actually going to be put to use. I think this is probably the first big example of that. Usually what happens is, I mean, issuing bonds on blockchain is not that difficult. You can just issue bonds on Ethereum blockchain. I think Paresh will cover that later. But I think the important part is that all the aspects of bond issuance have been digitized and put on blockchain. So what they have done is, they have tokenized the bonds. The $20 million payments that they are getting for this for this bond, the payment has also been tokenized, and the coupons, the quarterly coupons of 1.98%, those also have been tokenized. So what is going to happen is, the payment of $20 million is going to be held in an escrow, unless and until the issuer underwrites that and suggests the blockchain that they should make the transfer. When that bond transfer is approved by the issuer, only then the funds will be transferred from the escrow. And I mean, with smart contract, you have automized the quarterly coupon payments. I mean, you are completely removing the middleman. I think that's what one of the major things of blockchains for. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, this makes sense. And I expect that more companies will start doing so in future.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I think it's definitely big news, right? Because Ethereum and Santander coming together is always big news and shows adoption in the corporate world. Okay, next, Binance US will open account registration and begin accepting deposits of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Tether starting this week. They're also launching the Binance Futures Trading Platform, platform A and B from the battle of Binance Futures competition will be available for trading. So Sam, what's your take on this? Binance launching two platforms, the futures platform and the US platform, right? As an American, are you now more likely to use Binance US?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always been trading on Binance, so I'll probably move over to start using Binance US. I wanted to talk about what you said yesterday. Remember when we were talking about Perlin and the fact that Perlin didn't do so well and did like 1.3x or something? What were you saying about Binance yesterday?
I mean, the IEO. Well, I would say what I was saying is, it seems Binance is no longer pumping their IEOs, and I think that could be maybe because they're going to the US market and they're really trying to clean up their act and regulation, because it's really interesting that on their own exchange, they don't have the BNB token on their own exchange, right? And lots of people in the crypto community have mentioned how they think it's a security, all right? And them not listing it in the US is kind of them indirectly saying, yeah, we think this is a security.
Yeah.
Right. So I find it very, very fascinating. Next up, Telegram's blockchain project, TON, has entered the last preparation stage before going live. The code for running a blockchain node was released on the testnet portal late Friday. Now developers and community members interested in the messaging app provider's blockchain can start kicking the tires of a full node, a validated node, and the blockchain explorer. So Paresh, as our blockchain developer expert, right, what's your take on Telegram's TON project right now? Very high level.
Yeah, so I had a chance to look at very brief what is Telegram TON and how different they are, like compared to whole crypto or blockchain world actually. And I'm going to make a very detailed video which will come on the token metrics soon. So what they have released so far is basically the complete code for to build the full node. So you can compile the whole code and build the full node and run on the locally. You can run the light node as well. So, just to contribute into the consensus. White paper, amazing white paper. Okay, so let me tell you what I love about these things. I literally spent a few times and, this is caught my eyes, which is the blockchain of blockchains, right? So Telegram TON is not a single blockchain. It is like blockchain of blockchains. They are calling that as a two-dimensional blockchain. The way it works is they are like utilizing the sharding to the next level. I think, it's like infinite sharding, right? So what they do is they have one master blockchain, right? And in that master blockchain, they store only important informations and, information about other level blockchain. So that is like next level blockchain, which is, they call it the work blockchain. So, right, it's like workhorses basically, which does the actual work. They do it as a sharding, right? And they use like 32 bits for that, so they can have like 2 to the power 32 number of blockchains at the level 2. Okay, and each of this blockchain uses the 60 bits. So each of this blockchain can further divide into 2 to the power 60 blockchains. Okay, so it's like kind of infinite shardings they are using, and and they have their own virtual machine and stack replication algorithm and things. So the thing is, they are targeting to receive like millions of transactions per second. Okay, that is their goal, and that's what they said in that white paper. And the way they're using is like this vertical. So we have heard about like vertical scaling and horizontal scaling, right? But they are applying this fundamental concept to the blockchain, like vertical blockchain and horizontal blockchain, and that's why they call it as a two-dimensional. So, and I'm like really looking forward to going to this much detail. And the last thing I want to say, right? They have done something very amazing. What they have written their own Ethereum Solidity compiler. Okay, what does that mean is everything on the Ethereum blockchain can be migrated to the TON blockchain without needing anything, like special migration.
Wow, I mean,
Yeah, so it's I'm really looking forward for this Ton blockchain and deep diving into the concept and running testnet and
that sounds
actually
very
we'll learn
exciting.
a
I
lot
mean,
of things.
sounds like Ethereum
Yeah,
definitely has some competition, and even Facebook Libra.
amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I was always wondering, because why Ethereum has never done this. It's been like so many years they just keep talking, and people have started building it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so Paresh just gave a bunch of interesting points about Telegram Ton. Now we kind of know why they raised that 1.7 billion. I guess that 1.7 billion went towards developing what Paresh was just talking about. So I think that Telegram Ton ICO is going to be huge for the crypto space. Telegram's got 170 million active users. Each day, 70 billion messages get sent. Plans on being able to transfer value in like milliseconds, which will be faster than Visa. And also it can accumulate millions of users and thousands of dApps. So like right away, 200 million users will be right onto the platform. They said the mainnet launch is coming out in October 31st, and they said in their legal documents that they promised that they'd give investors their tokens by October 31st, or they'd deliver the mainnet, or they'd give back the money. So the company now is racing to get to that deadline. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that, and if they'll actually be able to make that October 31st deadline or not.
Okay, so next, Amazon Web Services announces general availability of Amazon QLDB, which is a fully managed ledger database that provides a transparent, immutable, and cryptographically verifiable transaction log owned by a central trusted authority. So Paresh, what is this? Is this a fully managed blockchain database? Is this something else?
Yeah, this is like another beautiful thing that I read about today. So Amazon Quantum Ledger database, right? So I think this is also kind of the next level in terms of the database where projects have a requirement, to have a database immutable, transparent, right? And manage the whole history in cryptographic verifiable way, right? So basically what this Amazon trying to do is it's not blockchain, but they are using the blockchain concept to create this QLDB, right? And they're providing everything that blockchain supports basically. So for example, immutable and transparent, which is like most fundamental property of the blockchain. So they give this guarantee that your data will be always immutable and transparent, whatever you store on the QLDB database. Cryptographically verifiable, which is another thing. That means you preserve the integrity of the documents that you stored on the QLDB, right? They uses the SHA-256 algorithm to basically encrypt the data, right? And it's basically no way to decrypt it. You can only tell that whether this data is altered or not, basically. Okay, so you preserve the integrity of the database, and it's easy to use because they are coming with this whole as a platform, right? So if you know like SQL database, like querying language, it is exactly same as SQL database. So they are abstracting the whole complexity of the to supporting this immutability and all the blockchain kind of properties like from you. So you don't need to worry about at the application level. You just use it as a like SQL database, right? And as we know that Amazon is always, going forward with the serverless, and that's what they are supporting for this QLDB as well. And when they say serverless means you don't need to manage server, right? So all you do is just like kind of, this is my function, just deploy it on Lambda and it scales automatically based on, your demands of your application. Right, and the only thing that we need to note here is it is very, very performative and highly scalable, but the reason is it's centralized because somebody central authority will manage it. Okay, that's the only thing. things
Yeah.
that we need.
Well, that's definitely very, very in-depth analysis.
Yeah, I mean,
Suresh.
I
Definitely thank
think
you for that.
yeah, it's
Okay.
really amazing applications for like projects. They are
Okay.
just mainly interested in
Okay.
immutability and.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, that concludes today's video of Crypto Download. Let us know what you guys think about Amazon, TON, France, Santander in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Steve and Dave use eToro to invest in the financial markets. Steve does research on global investment opportunities. Dave does research on how to become a level 60 wizard. Steve follows the feed for the latest market news. Dave follows the feed for the latest cat videos. Steve has a watch list for promising investments. Dave has a watch list too. So why is Dave just as good an investor as Steve? It's because Dave used eToro's copy trader to automatically replicate Steve's trading activity. Whenever Steve makes a trade, Dave does too.
Yes!
Trade like a Steve with eToro, the world's leading social trading platform.
Yo, know me as the guy with the game